talk about accessing the New York Times through the UT library. We'll start by going to databases and typing in New York Times. This search gives 4 results. The New York Times Online, this option is limited to UT faculty and on-campus students, and it is not available for OnRamp students. However, there are several other ways to access the New York Times. The New York Times Recent. This database allows you to browse issues of the New York Times with their original formatting, images, and so forth. It's also searchable. However, despite having the word recent in its title, it only goes up to 90 days ago. We'll discuss that more in a moment. The third database is the New York Times Historical Database. This has issues from all the way back to the paper's founding in 1851, which is great for historical research. However, it will not be useful in finding sources for this class, which focuses on recent controversies. The fourth database is Gale and Context College, which includes many different sources, including the New York Times. It is a great resource, but if you're looking for a specific New York Times article, there is a better way. Which brings us to our fifth option. And it does not come up when you search the New York Times, but it does contain it, the Nexis Uni database. Now remember, I said earlier that the New York Times recent database only goes up to 90 days ago. It is recent only by comparison to the New York Times historical database. If you want to find an article, you can find it by searching in the Nexis Uni database. And that covers the different ways you can access the New York Times using UT's library. See the description below for links to videos that will give you an in-depth look at how to find articles from the New York Times using both Nexis Uni and the New York Times Recent database.